Welcome to Let's Chat with Home Buyer Centre. Here are some snippets from the episode. Can you give us an example of what a rebate might look like?
Sometimes it can be $5,000, sometimes it can be $10,000, depending on what the developer wants to offer.
What are the guarantee schemes and how do they work?
So under the first home guarantee, there are, three different categories. The first one is the first home buyer guarantee. The second is the regional guarantee. And then the third is the single parent guarantee.
It's really confusing sometimes with all of the names of them.
That's why you need to go and speak to your mortgage broker.
Hello and welcome back to episode 5. We're going to be talking about government grants and rebates. My name is Tash and I'm here with Jazz and John, who are mortgage brokers from Resolve Finance, and Vasu, who is a new homes consultant with Home Buyer Centre. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To start us off with, Jazz, what's the difference between a rebate and a government grant?
So a rebate is actually an offer from the land developer themselves. So it is completely decided on them, whereas a government grant is, as you'd expect, set by the government.
Mm-hmm. To add to what Jasmine said, rebates are something like developers offer as an incentive to the customers on top of what the value of the land is. So it's actually quite helpful to the customers in that aspect.
Can you give us an example of what a rebate might look like? Is it like you get $2,000 back, or is it?
So the rebate value can vary depending on the estate. Sometimes it can be $5,000, sometimes it can be $10,000, depending on what the developer wants to offer. So for example, if it's a block of land worth $300,000, the rebate on it at settlement can be $5,000. Or it can be $10,000 as well, depending on what it is. Sometimes it's negotiable as well, depending on the size of the block and in the best interest of the customer.
What are the guarantee schemes and how do they work?
So under the first home guarantee, there are, three different categories. The first one is the first home buyer guarantee. The second is the regional guarantee. And then the third is the single parent guarantee.
Okay, so the first one, first home buyer's guarantee, how does that work?
So essentially it is the idea that people that meet the eligibility, which usually is around income and postcode price caps. So as long as you meet those two eligibilities and you're also a first home buyer, then you're able to put down a low deposit. Part of that low deposit is between 5 to 15%. And then instead of the government owning any portion, they are just guaranteeing the rest of the deposit required.
Perfect. So no LMI on that one either?
Correct. No LMI on that one either.
And then what was the other one? Regional or rural?
Regional, yes. With the regional one, it is very much just postcode based. The extra criteria, so you have the same criteria as the first home buyers one, but the extra criteria on top of it is that you had to live in a regional postcode for 12 months and also buy in a regional postcode.
Can you do that even if you're not a first home buyer?
There is a caveat in the scheme where if you haven't owned a home for 10 years, you can apply to be part of the scheme.
Okay.
So it is for first home buyers and someone who hasn't owned a home for 10 years.
It's really confusing sometimes with all of the names of them. And there's the first home guarantee scheme, the first home super saver scheme. Like there's a lot of schemes and guarantees and words going around. And then you have the first homeowners grant. Like it's a lot to wrap your head around.
That's why you need to go and speak to your mortgage broker.
Another really important factor as well is you can actually try stacking them all together. If you meet the eligibility criteria of all of them individually, you can try and use all of them at the same time.
Do you have an example of that someone's done?
A really good example is probably myself. So I use the 5% scheme. And if I decided to build, I would have been able to get the $10,000 first home owners grant. Also, I paid $0 for stamp duty because the property price was under $600,000.
Amazing. Then you could have gotten a land rebate maybe as well if you built.
That's correct as well.
All these things. I love it. I've heard there's a new scheme coming called the Help to Buy. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's quite exciting actually. That's another federal government scheme. At a high level view, it's basically a shared equity scheme. So the government is going to purchase a percentage of the home along with the customer. Now that could be anywhere from 5% up to 40%. For low income families or single income, they're only going to have to borrow, say, 60% or 70% of the property value, and the government will purchase the rest. And then further down the track, we believe if you want to buy the government out, you can. But their growth in the property grows with the capital growth in the value of your property as well to buy them out. And also, if you sell the home, you have to pay the government back as well. We just wait to see what the final details are. So it's going to help a lot of people.
Great. What is a My Home Plan and who benefits from it?
My Home Plan is basically a savings program that we offer to our customers who want to embark on the home building journey, but they don't have their deposits there yet. Now with these customers, what we first do is we get Resolve involved with them. We make sure that, they are good to go in terms of their borrowing. That is when we get them onto this journey where we will then help them save their deposits for the bill. So now these deposits can be depending on the scheme that they are working with. So this can be the 5% scheme or any other scheme that they're working with. And while these customers are on this journey, we will also incentivize them in terms of, some sort of upgrades to the house that they're building.
Oh, what are the upgrades?
Now these upgrades can vary. So it could be a kitchen pack where you're getting amazing bench tops, stone bench tops with Westinghouse appliances, for example.
And what do you have to do for it? You have to save money.
That's pretty much it. We literally just help customers save the deposits. So I think we're pretty much the only builders who do that.
Yeah, amazing. I want a free kitchen upgrade. That's so fun.
That'll be fun. And the good news about the My Home Plan program is that it's not only limited to your first home buyer customers, but to every customer that walks into the home buyer center doors.
Amazing. Jazz, from a mortgage broker perspective, how can you help people who haven't started saving yet?
So if they are on the My Home Plan, they do get a dedicated finance coach that meets with them every single month, goes through their budgeting and their savings. And then from the broker's perspective, we're kind of that second point of contact as well, just to keep them, I guess, in the program, making sure they're hitting all their goals. Also just making it as exciting as well. Every time they hit a new stage, we will go back and redo their borrowing capacity to see if we could try and get them in a home even earlier. Obviously, the market changes, borrowing capacity changes, interest rates, they all change. So because everything's changing, we just always try and stay up to date with where the client's at and if we can get them into a home sooner.
So how does this work? You can go to the website and just sign up to do this savings plan?
That's absolutely right. So you can inquire online, and then after that's done, we'll actually have a finance coach who's going to go through all the details with you. And once the customer knows everything about the plan, that's when we sign them up.
A really amazing thing about My Home Plan is we also have a very user-friendly app, which is very helpful because a lot of people just want to see where they're at in their savings journey, so they can just pull it up straight on their phone.
Amazing. How much is it to do this?
Well, the great news is that to sign up to My Home Plan, it's only $1,000. And those $1,000 are not on top of any of your future house and land packages. They will form a part of your deposits.
That's perfect. So you're putting it $1,000 up front and then you get help to save your deposit.
That's correct. It's the lowest risk you could go with.
So what do you actually get for $1,000?
You actually can get up to 24 months of unlimited finance coaching from a dedicated finance coach, along with appointments with your broker. And then you also have unlimited access to your application. And the kind of customers that can sign up with My Home Plan can vary from people who are looking to save and they have, good amount of borrowing capacity, to anybody, who is on a pathway to their permanent residency and are also looking to save in future. And then you have another case where you still have an apprentice who will be finally graduating into a full-time role. They could also sign up to My Home Plan.
I think a key part is just having that accountability buddy. You meet with your finance coach every month or even more if you really want to, and they are there to help you budget and to save. Personally, I know that it would feel so good having someone tell me to cancel my Uber Eats. So just having someone in your corner that is helping you along that journey, I think it's a very meaningful thing as well.
It's great to have a goal with an end time frame as well. Like I know I'm going to be able to buy in a year or two and I've worked this out and it's being updated. So when you do get that pay rise, you actually know, I'm closer to my goal. It's working.
Also, I think it's really exciting just to see your savings go up and you hit little targets. I get super excited if I've hit 50% of my goal.
So good to see. We have covered a lot today with all things government grants and schemes and helpful things that can help you along the way. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This information does not consider your personal needs and financial circumstances, and you should consider whether it is appropriate for you. Lender terms and conditions apply and may vary. All financial services provided by Resolve Financial Solutions Pty Ltd, trading as Resolve Finance, ABN 65079545378, Australian Credit Licence Number 385487.